was it Kasanga, where you help the guys who have potential in creating music, and you try to help them get a studio and probably do their thing as reach their max potential.
Yeah, there's a place in Kansanga that you can go and check out. I actually met those guys in quite an interesting way, but I met them and they had a really small studio. It was kind of beaten up, but you could tell that they loved what they were doing, you know?
Yeah.
So eventually, within a year's time, they got a nice new place in Muyenga on Zimwe Road, and there's a spot called Green Lounge. But if you take a right and you go into Green Lounge, literally inside of Green Lounge, they have their own little mini studio. It's just like a small booth, but it's nice.
Yeah.
And then they had that one, and then within the same year, they built a whole studio space with practice area and everything in Kabalagala and Kansanga. So I met those guys when they were literally starting from the bottom, and now they're here. If we're talking about YOLO, we can follow the train of thought.
Yeah. So as I was saying, you spoke of music, to have started maybe from the UK.
Yeah.
And my question is how is that life like? Is it like the music life we have seen on TV in the UK? We've seen a lot of roadman things going through, and so I was asking, is it the same thing with Scotland, music in Scotland and the artists themselves?
I hear you, bro, and it's a very good question. Thank you for asking that question. I think, and I have okay, so it's a kind of a deep and complicated question in the sense that most of the music that you will hear internationally right now is from England.
Yeah.
England has a very high density, a high population of people compared to Scotland in the main cities. When you are in England and you get off of the train, it's like you're in New York City, and it's I really don't like it. It's so stressful.
Yeah.
You come off the train and you're literally looking at a million people. There's nowhere to go. It's so easy to be robbed there, regardless of. So England is totally different. In Scotland, you come off the train and there's maybe 5,000 people, maybe. So it's a much more chill vibe, right?
Yeah.
So in Scotland, because of the lower density of people in the capital cities, and then also just because I think also the country itself is a bit more chill.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've seen that movie Braveheart, but Mel Gibson, these guys, they beefed with the English, so the Scottish guys and the English guys didn't like each other. They fought for independence, but the countries are totally different, and they have separate devolved powers and everything.
Yeah.
But there is a place in the UK, in Glasgow, that apparently at some point was the most dangerous for a type of crime that involves a kitchen utensil, right?
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So it was really bad for that. And I think because it was so bad for that, people really they thought about it, they spoke about it, they're maybe we should chill this because it's mental behavior.
Yeah.
And now it's a little bit better, but it was crazy at one time. Also, Ireland, there was a time where Northern Ireland and Ireland had beef, and those guys were on some different beef, guys. They would import weapons in. These guys were doing Al Qaeda stuff, bro.
Yeah.
Bombs, guns, AKs, everything. It was crazy. That beef was deep. And then in England, there is sometimes, I guess, some beef that does take place, whether it be territorial, whether it be related to gangs and whatever. But all of those things taken into consideration, the things that you see on TV, the celebrities that you see on TV, a lot of them aren't really about that life. And the guys who really are about that life, I think once you kind of start to see two lives, you sometimes want to reconsider what do you really want to subscribe to in your life, you know? So yeah, I have met some people who would maybe go kind of more along the line of being completely about that life, and then other people who aren't about that life, and then other people who literally just do it for the music, and it's just for making a sound that they like, because you have to know, you've grown up listening to hip-hop music that sounds like this, right? And I met a lot of guys in the UK, in Livingston, in Edinburgh, who literally are not about that life, but the music that they make sounds like they're about that life, because that's what they grew up listening to, and that's what they like to hear, and that's what they feel. They're yo, right? So when they make it, it's fun. In the same way that someone who plays Call of Duty maybe is not about that life. Yeah.
like me, I play FIFA. I play FIFA, but I'm not even about football at all.
Oh, really?
Like, you'll never catch me watching a football match. Probably, maybe when these guys are watching, I'm probably watching some TikTok. I really don't give it that much time, but when it comes to the game, yeah.
Okay, yeah, bro.
Yeah, but I think the music part, it all comes with the originality. They want to keep it original, you know, because if you change, if you're singing UK music now, because the music we listen to out here, it's about the gang lives, guys moving mad, selling drugs, right? So those artists you said, they might sing rap the same music style, but they're not, up to that. I think they just want to keep it original, because the listeners, the viewers, they want to see the originality, what's in the end. So I think it all comes due to the originality and how they want to keep the quality of the music out there out here. So me myself, I really enjoy UK drill a lot.
Nice,
and they actually sing a lot that it's always the same music. It's incorporated, and it's very nice to listen to when you get to know the line or the story that tell they're saying. So it all just gets to you, and you just enjoy the beats, how they study their music is really mad and crazy, and it's really very, very interesting, and I love it.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I actually just started listening to a lot more UK drill recently.
Yeah.
And I feel like I should have started one of those. I should have done a video. You know those videos where someone would be like, day one listening to UK drill, and then like week 2 listening to UK drill. Like now that I'm like maybe like a month deep listening to UK drill, I'm like, damn, bro. Like there's a lot of good music I was really sleeping on, but it's amazing like to listen to.
Yeah.
And it sounds good. The beats are great. The production is great. And,
very good. I love how they play with there's a way they play with those instruments that other states or countries that don't enhance. They can play with a flute, they can play with a violin, but like it's you can't notice, and I think if you're not very critical, that's the very, very beautiful, I don't know how to call it, but I really, really love that.
I hear what you're saying. I think a lot of that type of music is really art, and it really does take quite a bit of delving into it, listening to what are these people talking about, listening to the instrumentation, and then also being aware of your feeling. Because someone might say something crazy and they're moving mad for real, but they're also moving mad on music, and it makes you feel overwhelmed, right? But also that feeling of being overwhelmed is still a part of life, in the sense that like, bro, like, what else is going to make you feel that way?
For sure.
I very rarely feel like, whoa, like this is overwhelming, unless something is really bothering me. But then there's times where you hear a song and you're like, damn. Like, bro is like, he's like spitting, like there's nothing better than this, And that feeling, when you get it from music, is so amazing. So, yeah, I think music really is an art form that sometimes you just need to give it more time and patience, and you'll see.
Yeah, like how we're in the studio and they're playing with drums, and then like, the song would reach that point where the beat has dropped, and then we're like, oh. And it's just really, really good. It's good, like, playing with the beats. I don't know how you guys do it, but that's crazy, bro.
There's some producers, like actually at that place, John, they have some of the best producers I've seen in Uganda. There's also another place right here where you guys are, like super close. Within Muyanga, there's like a bunch of great studios, but the African Bureau of Music, they're really good, aren't they? They have Kusim.
You've been there?
Kusim?
I'm not sure, but
Kusim, right? Nassim. Talented guy, like really great studio space, and they make really amazing music. They work with Pia Pounds. They work with they work with great people over there. But realistically, like that is. For me, in my opinion, maybe a space for somebody who's really ready to like take that next step and take it super seriously with their music. But then there is still that other place, Jono, that is much more like, for me, in my experience, quite accessible and just faster. Yeah.
So speaking of music, most people actually take in music as a source of therapy, like me. I listen to music as therapy. So I don't feel like there is need for me to go for therapy. Though maybe I might need it, I might not need it, but when I'm having music, I have my artists that I listen to, and it's a therapeutic, I would say, and it heals me. So I've noticed you've been pushing this thing of mental health for the young adults, the Gen Zs. What's your take? Like, where does that come from?
Yeah, I'll tell you actually where that comes from, bro. There's been times where like I've worked so hard that I feel like I'm losing my damn mind because there's times where you will push something and you'll try everything to make it successful, and sometimes it's just like, bruh, it's not happening. It's an L. And I really just want to share this piece of information with you. Sometimes your victory in life is going to be carrying that L as far as you can take it. Keep going. Don't stop. You know, like you might literally go until you're 90 and it's failure, but there's people who are going to find what you do. There will always be somebody who will find like some sense of meaning in what you do. Otherwise, the world would not allow you to keep doing it. That's one thing that I've learned for sure. Another thing is like, for me, I started to really go down this path of like comparing myself to other people and becoming a hater. And I hate that about myself. Like I never was like that at all. And then it came to a point where I was like, okay, I've literally like, I started out with Lewis Capaldi, who is now like chart topping, UK number one, US number one, Billboard number one, freaking successful, right? Doing really big things, an amazing talent, great voice. And we literally would be, I'm on stage, then he's on after me. Then I'm on stage, then he's on after me. And we're performing in little clubs, little bars, like for no money. And then within like a year, 2 years, guy was blowing up, doing crazy big things. I was like, wow, it's amazing. But then he did make the move I didn't make. He moved to London, he moved to England, and I did not want to move back to England. So I was like, I'm going to just stay in Scotland. So there was that. And then there was also like, there's this boy I went to high school with called James Penrice. And when I think we were just finishing high school or we were done with it, he was on freaking FIFA, bro. Like, he's a character on FIFA. And in my heart, I was like, oh, bro, like, I want to win, bro. Like, there's this other kid I went to, I just genuinely, I was like, I want to win. There's this other kid I went to high school with called Craig McLean. He was like a freaking national champion swimmer. There's this other girl called Lauren Brash. She was like an international and freaking nationally representing gymnast, and she was amazing. And I was looking at these guys, I was like, bro, I need to be the big dog. Like, I need this in my life, man. Like, when I was in high school, I think I was like 14 or 13, I ended up becoming not only like class president or like president for like my year group, I became like the president of my high school. So I was looking at these guys, I'm like, I'm the freaking president, and you guys are doing things that I think are much more impressive than what I'm doing, you know? And I took it in a totally wrong direction. I was more like, I need to like just work harder, focus more, be like more strict with my time, like, so I went in that direction, and I did get some really great things out of like that focus. It was amazing. But at the same time, now I look back and I'm like, bro, like, everyone has the thing that they do that they shine in, you know? And everyone has like a part to play in the lives of themselves and in others' lives. So I just, now looking at that, I just feel like one of the things that affected my mental health and kind of took me on a deep decline was comparison. So I like to like get in there early and jump in and be like, guys, like, if you are a young person and you're creative and you're in that space where you're like 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 20, like, it's not going to happen right away for some people. Some people will take a lot of time. Some people might have it for a year and then they fall off. Some people might be like Drake, where they have it for 15 years. Imagine you're from the same country as that guy. You'd be like, bro, give me a turn, you know? Like, because bro is just carrying it. There's some people who are presidents, and they've been presidents for like 25 years plus, but they're carrying it, you know? So everyone, like, there's always a time where somebody wants your spot, and there's always a time where you don't have that spot, and your mental health and your well-being within that spot, like, at that time, is gonna take you to that level where you can actually manage to carry it. Because regardless of where you are, you're carrying something. There's a part of you that no one else has that is making the world a better place.
And speaking of mental health, most people have actually been hit with that, the episodes of depression and anxiety because of comparison, as you say. And they feel like they're supposed to be like that person, but I had the same thing though when I was in high school. I think I never enjoyed my high school because I was comparing myself to way older people than me. Like they have made it in life, they have the money. How am I going to reach there? Why don't I have like what they have? And I was comparing myself to like way older people than me. So I had to move in a way that I'm acting old, I'm not enjoying life, and that low-key put me back. And safe to say this podcast is all because of I was feeling away, and I felt like maybe this is like a spot I could just come and vibe, be around, and have a good fun.
I love that, bro. That's really good. I really appreciate that honesty. And like, again, you have to have the type of friends that you can actually be real and honest with your friends, and that's the type of thing that takes you to another level. It separates you from the crap, because there's a lot of people who live in a place where you literally were just born there, or your parents moved you there, and you're just like, you feel like stuck. So then you end up being friends with people, and you're friends with each other, but it's like maybe you're just around the wrong influences of people. You know, you need to be able to create a space for yourself, for your own well-being, where you have access to the type of people that will help you to get the answers, to get the soothing, to get the relaxation, to get the... Because life can be hard sometimes. Like, you wake up every day, and every day you're like on a mission to do this, to do that, to do this. So if you don't have the right people around you, I'm not saying cast away all your friends and like, but I'm saying some of my best friends, I barely see them. And we're best, like one of my best friends, his name is Jack. He lives in the UK. He just started a company. Congratulations. And I hope it's going well. I was actually thinking about flying back over there just to see him, because I'm like, this is my bro. Like, there's nobody who, like, I'm like, man, like, so you have to kind of have the type of friends who you can be honest with, and with that honesty, you'll have like clarity, and that clarity also in communication can allow you to get more opportunities. Because you might be with a guy and you guys like talk about just garbage all the time. You just be like, oh, girls, okay, now let's talk about food, okay, now let's like talk about gambling, okay, now let's talk about drinking beer, and that's all you talk about. And this person might be a person of like really amazing talent, quality, skill, like who can help you with something, and you might be that person for them. But because you never go into depth and talk about other stuff, it's like you guys just kind of circulate around stuff that isn't actually building you. So that dishonesty that you have within your heart, like of that interaction with that person, sometimes can even then taint the relationship. So you need to actually be honest so that you can always have like a clear point of reference. Because if I can say for a fact that I've been honest with this person 100% and we're like, you know, this is what our relationship is, then I can make the right decision on whether to keep this person in my life or to move on in another way. So that's a really great quality, bro.
Okay, that's actually very correct. I'm positive about it too. And as we know, we go to the closing parts of the show. You know, the people out there would really, really love it if you freestyle for them just a teaser. Okay. You know, since you're that guy, you're the music guy.
Man, I'd love if you showed them that track I made for you guys, but okay, let me do this one. No beat, or a beat, or I'll go no beat. I even beatbox for you. Podcast over. Can you do that? Is that okay?
That's good. Okay.
Alright, perfect. I hope that we can maybe show them, like, maybe if we show them like some of the scenes, or like behind the scenes from the studio, then you can play the track over there and you can hear it.
Yeah, we'll do that. And we want to much appreciate you for coming through to the show. It has really been a great experience with you. We've learned a lot from what you've said, and I think we'll be taking the initiative to put in practice most of the things we've talked about, you know, trying to push this podcast with Tab, and trying to get relevant people on the show, trying to, you know, talk about relevant stories, like we say. Either way, we are cooking, and we always talk about authenticity. We mostly try to focus on the stories that people tell, or the stories that are told by people, and this is because of the originality that we want to keep, and we want to keep it through podcasting, and that's like what we chose, you know, and we believe that as time goes on, we'll, you know, hit higher floors and try to get more relevancy, and probably with time we shall get where we have to or we need to. And we really thank you for coming through. And as we conclude, this is Voices Over Vibes podcast. Thank you for viewing, and make sure you subscribe, as my lad here tells you the rest.
And since we have a guest, we can't live without having that fandom, I would say, because it's as if all the topics we have been chatting about have been kind of serious, and so I noticed one of your role models is Tyler Perry, right?
Yeah.
So why is he like your role model, I would say? Like,
Yo, Tyler Perry's he's a mad one to have as a role model, but I'll give you the reason why. The reason why Tyler Perry, I think, to me, is a good role model. If I look at a guy and I think, like, nice house, same skin color as me, in the entertainment industry, and telling stories that are impactful, like stories that have some meaning to them, I think, okay, bro is doing okay, you know? And so I'm like, there's this one lyric I have in a song of mine that goes, blast myself. That's what I would do if I woke up one day and I wasn't me, but I was you. For my brothers, it's like, if I woke up one day and I was Tyler Perry, I'd be like, could have been worse, you know?
Yeah.
He's just a vibey guy to,
Okay. That's good. Though.
And there's one movie I watched when I was a kid called Diary of a Mad Black Woman, and he told the story of this woman who was like going through abuse and stuff. And I think that a guy telling you that story, like if you're a boy and you don't have a man in your life to tell you like the right behavior, the right way to just kind of be better, he might just do it for you, you know? So for me, I was like, let me just push TP because he's doing all right, man.
Okay.
Yeah, he's telling a decent story.
It's nice being having you.
Thank you.
And I feel like we haven't covered like half of your story.
Bro, it's the tip of the iceberg.
So, like I think I have like a lot I wanted to ask, but since we are like winding up, shall maybe have you for another session?
I hope so. I really do.
Go crazy. So, guys out there, I know you've been watching the episodes, but you're not subscribing, and you see we have this guy here. He will be coming back. First subscribe, because we might refuse to put this pod like on the main, and we put it for Patreon, the next part. So subscribe so that we can have him again, man. Either way we're cooking, Africa must unite.